Hello everybody, we're going to work on your paired sample t-test. Okay, so we've gone over what a paired sample t-test is on another one, but remember, you're running two basically related conditions, two different mile times, two different test scores. In this case, we're looking at caffeine and no caffeine, and this is the example that is in the first video. Okay, this is not your homework. This is your practice. We're going to practice this, hopefully understand it well enough so when you do your homework, you're going to be able to do it exactly like it is. But you can use the actual sheet that I have right here as an outline to build your full paragraph. Remember, in your homework, there are no boxes. I already know the answers. Okay, all right, so once you've run the data, and you can see I've got the data in the boxes here. Okay, boxes are on here. Okay, remember, not in your work, but for me, I've got to show it to you. Okay, so your introductory sentence is just like all the other ones. A paired sample t-test was conducted to compare. Now I'm going to take this out. Okay, and what we're looking at is hours slept. So the data was hours slept. So we put hours. Oops, sorry. Okay. And then we're going to take out the 1 because that's our first variable, which you can see right there in the box. Caffeine. And no caffeine. Okay. There's our first sentence. Okay, so hours slept is not going to be shown in here. That's what you're running it against, your dependent variable, and caffeine and no caffeine are your independent variables, and you're going to have 2. Okay, so the box comes out. You'll see it says 540 for the caffeine and 940 for the no caffeine. Your mean area, these two numbers right here, are valuable. That's where you're going to draw your major conclusions. So just looking at it, the hours slept for no caffeine was 9.40, and for caffeine is 5.40. So the question will be, what does that mean? What does that mean is that people that drank no caffeine had more sleep than those who did not. Okay, your conclusion comes right from those two mean numbers right there. N, number of participants, and the number of participants were 5. And here are your standard deviation. Just for out of the blue, both these standard deviations are the same. Okay, so now here is your sentence you're going to be working on. So take out the line here, and we're going to put in caffeine. It's our first variable. Our first mean we're going to put in is right here for caffeine, which is 5.40. And for the standard deviation is 1.14, which you can see means are here, standard deviations are here. Okay, and then I'm going to take out this line, and I'm going to type in the word no caffeine. Okay, now we're going to look at the no caffeine numbers. Slide this over here, and I'm going to make this 9.40. And over here, I'm going to make this 1.14. Okay, now we have to do our little formula. That comes in the box down here that says paired sample t-test. In between the arrows, in between the parentheses, is our DF. Our DF here is 4. And you can see it right here, DF 4. Your T value, okay, is negative 5.66. Okay, you can see that answer right here. And then for the P value, it's going to be less than 0.05. How do we know that? It's significant because it's below 0.05, and this is 0.005. Okay, so this is how your second line goes, exactly like that. Okay, again, was it significant? Yes. So I'm going to take out these words right here. Okay, caffeine, 5.40, 9.40. Okay, conditions, and then after that, here is your formula. You take those right from those boxes there. And then you have a correlation, okay? The correlation here is 0.038, very close to 0, so it's a very slight correlation. There's no negative sign, so we now know it's a negative. So now we're going to take this and we're going to write positive slight correlation at R, which is your correlation number right here, which is 0.038. N, right here, we already know from the other side, is 5. And then the P, is it greater than or less than? No, it is greater than. So we're going to change it to greater than 0.05, period. Okay, and then we're going to go down here. The conclusion. And here is how conclusion is basically taking all the information and writing it up. So if I go back up here again and I look at the means, for the first part of it, I know that the no caffeine hour slept was higher than caffeine. So I mean, I've already kind of said it, but bottom line is those folks, those people, those participants who did not drink caffeine slept more hours than the people the participants who consumed caffeine. And then of course I wrote it down here, much better. Okay. The results suggest that caffeine really doesn't have effect on hours slept. Specifically, our results suggest that when humans consume caffeine, the number of hours sleep decreases. Okay, I wrote a second one here. Here is the entire write-up at the end. So it's been broken down now, and now you have one paragraph should look like. Remember, you're changing the numbers, you're changing the names, significance. That's the easy part. Okay, when it comes to conclusions, you have to spend some time and go back and look at the means, see which one is higher. If it's preseason to postseason, if it's sugar to no sugar, if it's math score to reading score, it does not matter. It does not matter. So in this case, we're looking at hours slept, no caffeine, and caffeine. You can see the conclusion here, but it's all because of the numbers. If you remember, we're looking at the difference in the means in this one. You should be able to draw a conclusion. Okay. What I'm looking for as you get working on drawing for conclusions is for it to say what it's supposed to say. It does not have to be perfectly scholarly written. It needs to say what it needs to say. So, you're not really looking at why. You're looking at the two means. One's higher than the other, and then this. I mean, this one's a little more elaborate, but it can be as simple as you could have done as simply as putting down as those participants who consumed caffeine, consumed no caffeine, slept more hours than those that actually drank caffeine. That would be just as good as what it is here. This last sentence right here, specifically, our results suggest that when humans consume caffeine, the number of hours they sleep decreases. That is pointing back to your correlation. Okay, it's pointing back to your correlation. Okay, all right, good luck.